Thanks for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. So we've got a lot to talk about here. So out into the Atlantic, this is that leftover or the remnant of once tropical storm, then became tropical depression, Gordon. It dissipated yesterday, just kind of lost that center of circulation, but models are still insisting that as we go through the next couple of days, this will work its way to the north and start to work its way into an environment where conditions are more favorable and could regenerate itself, could become a tropical storm once again. So we'll kind of watch for that. Doesn't really matter because it's way out in the Atlantic. It's not going to affect any land areas. Now, the other area that we're watching, it doesn't even actually exist at this point, but you see this highlighted area here where you're actually not seeing anything going on, and Hurricane Center putting a 20% development over the next 7 days. So this is going to take some time for something, if it does develop, to develop down in this region. What we've got going on here is as we go through spring and heading into also early fall, we get what we call the Central American Gyre. Basically just a broad area of low pressure down across the Western Caribbean and over Central America. And with this large area of low pressure, you get a lot of storminess, you get a lot of activity down in this area, and it can help to kind of add that extra energy, that extra spin and the storms into the atmosphere that can aid in the formation of tropical cyclones. And as I mentioned, we see this late spring. We also see it in the early fall as well. So indications is we're going to see this develop as we go through the next week or so. We've got the ridge of high pressure to our east, and then we've got this gyre developing down to our south, and we've got the jet stream pushing pretty far to the south, which for the time being will kind of hold this down across the south. Now, what will happen is that will start to lift out, and as you get this area of low pressure, this gyre sitting down here, you start to get some of these little areas of low pressure that can form, and some of these become a little more organized. And so from time to time, you'll get some of these kind of just shooting up into the Gulf of Mexico, maybe over towards the Bay of Campeche. And so there's that possibility we could see something developing as we go into next week. That's the general idea with this. And as you look at the tropical cyclone formation probability, you're seeing that pretty high chance right through the Western Caribbean, right near the Yucatan Channel, as we go through basically next week and really over the next week or so, seeing that idea and then working its way potentially up into the Gulf of Mexico. So you look at that spin in the atmosphere. Remember, we're still talking long range. Nothing's even there right now, but you're starting to see that idea that as we head towards the middle of next week, we could be looking at something trying to develop in this area. So we're going to keep posting on this, and we will keep you updated on this as we go through the weekend heading into next week. We'll keep you updated right here on myfoxhurricane.com.